Jesse fucking Smith.
Yeah. Good dude.
Great dude. Good cast. Good talk.
I agree.
It went from voyage to manage to dadage. Voyage to dadage.
I would say that it was a fantastic voyage.
Fantastic voyage?
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
You better be ready when the 5 rolls by.
The 5-0?
The 5 rolls by.
The 5-0,
The
right?
5, the car, the 65 Impala, right? I have no idea.
We're sitting in here with Haley. And
who has no mic?
No mic, just laughing.
Can we give her one? I want her input on the 5. Do you know what the 5 is?
I'll Google it.
Goddamn. No mic, but
okay.
I'm pretty sure it's you better be ready when the 5 rolls by.
Yeah. I'm thinking a 5, like a 65, like a car.
You've been hitting switches on the block in a 65. I think the 5 rolls by is like the 5-0.
The police officers.
But then again, I'm thinking of the Vanilla Ice when it's cruising in my 5.0.
Yeah, that's the Mustang 5.0.
So is it a Mustang 5?
It's a car. I mean, it's not a great car. I mean, I guess it was in 1989. I guess the Mustang 5.0 was a pretty good car.
Well, I'm reminded of the Loonies.
Mm-hmm.
Loonies. I got 5 on it.
I got 5. That's
$5.
Yeah, I got $5 on a sack. We're buying a sack.
Let's go half on a sack.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, hey, tell you what, let's go half on a sack.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you $5. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's nothing. I'm so rich.
Yeah.
Urban Dictionary says the 5 is a group of 5 of the sexiest girls around.
The 5.
So you better be ready when the 5 roll by.
When the 5 sexy gals roll by.
That's even better than the cops.
Yeah.
Or $5 worth of dirt weed.
Or $5 worth of dirt weed, yeah.
Hey, you better be ready when the 5 roll by.
Sure.
How many times when we were boys that you wish the 5 would roll by? Like 5 babes in a rag top.
It never happened. We grew up in Choctaw. At best, an semi-attractive girl who was a senior in high school when we were like 10 drove by in a fucking Thunderbird. At best.
What if
and I mean like a 1985 Thunderbird. I'm not meaning like a cool Thunderbird. I'm talking like the shitty Thunderbird.
What if the 5 rolled by, meaning like a 5 out of 10? Like, hey, you better be ready when that 5 rolls by, because anymore, I'm down. 4, no. But if a 5 rolls by, I'm good.
You settle for a 5 roll by?
Dude, you better be ready, because I'm only a 3. So when a 5
you
rolls
think you're
by,
a 3?
3.5.
Nah, Rob, I'd put you on a 1 to 10 scale.
A 1?
I'd put you like a 7.5, maybe an 8. You're a pretty handsome dude. A lot of my friends are really handsome dudes. Matt Street's going to be a solid 9.5.
I'd say more about a 6.5.
He's got a great bod. If you want the bod, here's the hot rod.
But yeah, 12 inches to a yard.
Yeah.
First of all, 12 inches. What limp dick is 12 inches long? 12
what
inches.
What dick in general is 12 inches? That's a sub sandwich. That's not quite a party sub. Going back a few podcasts
to the first.
Was it the first?
I think it was.
Well, that's a fucking all the way back. So on this episode, we have Jesse Smith, one of the best drummers in Oklahoma City, if not the best. We'll put that up to debate.
All around good dude.
Great dude. Good stories. Great dad. And apparently a prank caller, we find out.
Yeah.
Bit of a prankster.
And also, I might add that he brought us some fucking swag.
He brought swag. No one does that. That was really cool.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I got a brand new t-shirt to wear.
Put that shit on tomorrow.
I will. Well, without further ado, Jesse Smith. So we're here with Jesse Smith, longtime friend.
Yeah.
Glad to have you on. It's fun, man. Starting this new podcast, it's really cool to get people on that I didn't have on the old show, or that Josh didn't have on his old show. And you were somebody, we actually made a short list of people
Hell yeah.
and you were on that list just
Awesome.
because I think that you're a cool dude. And
Oh,
it's been a
yeah.
while since we've actually like talked a lot. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, we stay cordial.
yeah, it's been a hot minute.
It
Yeah.
has, yeah. Lots gone on since we kind of like, you know, when we used to be in a band together,
Yeah.
for a little while,
Yeah.
and we've both done a lot since then, and
I would agree.
hopefully we can catch up on some
That was
of that
a long
tonight.
time ago.
It was a long ass
The,
time
the
ago.
Skyline?
Yeah,
thing? Okay.
mid 2000s.
Well, I kind of want to
Yeah.
start off with that. Yeah, I would say
That band was dope.
Dude.
I love that band.
Yeah.
that band fucking ruled.
Oh, I feel like that band like came out at a weird time with what we were doing. Like,
Mhm.
and now I feel like if it came out now, I feel like we'd do pretty damn well. Like,
Well, what's okay, give me the story of Skyline, because I joined the band later.
yeah,
You guys were 3-piece at first.
yeah.
Did that band start out before you, or did you and Nick start that band, or you and Nick and Jed, or how did that
It
start?
was actually me, Nick and Jed, and Ross Adams on lead vocals.
Really?
Yeah, that was the original like inception, and then that didn't work out, and me and Nick and Jed just started jamming, and Nick started singing, and went from there. Ran into you, added you on second guitar, and there we were.
Dude, it was crazy. You know, I would say, I was thinking about the bands that I've been in and played with, you know, I think about that often.
Uh-huh.
And I would say that, in my opinion, I think Skyline as a whole,
Yeah,
that might have been the band that I thought could have made it.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know, like Nick, and not to just ride his jock or anything, but there was something about those songs
Oh,
and
yeah.
his writing at the time.
Mhm.
There was a little bit of nostalgia because
Uh-huh.
it was Nirvana
Yeah,
influence,
Totally.
you know.
We're all big Nirvana 90s kids. So.
Yeah. But there was just something about that songwriting and the way he used the guitar effects.
Oh, yeah.
When he asked if I wanted to play with you guys,
Mhm.
I was fucking floored.
Yeah.
I was like,
Awesome.
Fuck, yes, I do. Of course I do.
Yeah.
And we had some fun. I mean, you know, it was pretty short-lived as a 4-piece, but I really, you know, we talk about that a lot on the podcast. We call it the buy in the van feeling. Like when
Yeah.
you get the group together and you're like, man, fuck it, somebody's got to get a van.
Uh huh.
And that to me was a buy the van
Yeah.
band.
Well, didn't you buy a half stack for that band?
Well,
or did you
I
already
mean-
have?
I upgraded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing through a Baseman head
Uh-huh.
into a Marshall cab, and then I went and I got a Marshall half stack,
Yeah.
added it to the Marshall cab. So I was, because Nick had a loud fucking amp.
Yeah. I've actually still got his cabinet that he used from that band.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's a relic by
Oh,
this
yeah.
point.
Don't Make Ghost uses that.
Really?
every night,
That
so-
Mesa Boogie cab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that mean looking one with like the
Yeah.
metal
Yeah,
grill.
and it's got the half open back. It's loud as shit.
Hell
so-
yeah. Yeah, there was just something about that band. I've always thought Nick was super talented.
Oh yeah, he
It-
nailed everything like flawlessly
And
every time.
we'd go over there and he'd be like, check it out, I'm working on this new song, and he'd pull it up on his what would now would be this ancient MacBook.
Yeah,
Like the unibody white
Oh, yeah.
plastic MacBook. And I would just be like, dude, this shit's gold.
hmm
But it's just funny about Nick. He was just always kind of like, whatever.
yeah,
Eh. And you know, that's just the way Nick's always been. I've known him. I mean, shit, Josh and Nick and I go back to like junior high.
yeah.
Yeah, I met Nick in like 8th or 9th grade, something like that.
Well,
yeah.
Nick and I met kind of through you.
Yeah,
Like it
Nick-
was a weird.
well, I met Nick Johnson through a childhood friend, and they went to private school together at Life Christian. And this friend of mine, it was that first person you ever jam with,
Yeah.
like the guy, like who's gonna play what?
hmm
And we both got guitars, and then I was like, I'll play drums, so I got a drum kit, and he's like, I got this friend Nick, you got to meet him. Okay, and then Nick stayed the night at his house. We lived in the same neighborhood, so I went over. That's when I met Nick, and we started this really terrible band. We basically just covered shit, and he would hang out with me and go to church with me, and I think that's how you met him,
Yeah.
was going to like church.
Yep.
And he came with me to church, youth group shit or whatever.
Well, it's funny going back to these old bands. I wanted to ask you. I kind of wanted to get your chronology of
Mhm.
bands
Yeah.
because you've been a drummer for a long time.
Yeah. 20 years now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I've said this before, and again, not jock riding here, but you are I would say you and Aaron Tackett from Found Footage are the two best drummers I've ever played with.
Awesome.
One of OKC's finest for sure.
Yes, for sure. Like to me, you're
Thanks,
an
dudes.
all-star. I mean it.
Thank you.
I've talked to you, but it's been like maybe a year and a half, almost 2 years going in. I've had this idea of doing a drum off, like a drum contest between all the drummers in the city that Like, and I'm just for fun, not for
Yeah.
not for like showmanship or jockeying reasons. Like I'm
Yeah.
better than you, but
I'm gonna
like
show you up.
there's
baby.
so many good fucking drummers around here, and like no one really know. Like you, Chris Van Dyne, Noah from the Destroy days, and, and
man,
other
that
bands.
guy's he's a
Owen,
monster.
Owen's fucking badass.
He's the only drummer like that I would ever like play guitar with in another band that I like trust. It's like
Right.
I'm not gonna have any input, you know. 'Cause other times it's like, give me them fucking sticks. Like,
Yeah.
But man, he just executes perfectly.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
I would throw Jake Stinson
Oh yeah.
when he plays with Bitch Wizard.
Mhm.
Like he's
Ooh, my
not,
favorite is Rob Smith. Yeah.
yes.
yeah, for sure.
Jake's not super flashy, but he's so solid.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I described you, Jesse. If somebody talked to me, I mean, you can be flashy, but you were just when I play with you in Skyline, and when I would see your other bands, you were just always super solid. You're just a good rock drummer.
Thanks, man.
And I know this sounds like I'm just blowing you, but it's like that's really hard to find because we talked about this the other day. We went and saw Blink 182 last week, and we talked about that band, and we were talking about how after Travis Barker joined Blink 182,
Mm-hmm.
legions of people started putting their toms flat.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing the hats, like sitting up higher over their drum kit. And he spawned this crazy army of Travis Barker wannabes that would do all the bell and hi-hat fills.
Yeah, your
and,
cymbals are flat and they're right at the same, like your ride sits like right over your kick drum. Yeah.
lot of jelly bean kits out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
you know?
Crank
Shit
your
like
snare drum up super, super tight.
Saving up to buy an
Yeah.
Orange County kit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just funny because, a band like Blink, they get written off as shitty, but Josh and I mean, we don't have to spend too much time on this, but Josh and I went to that show a week ago today.
Uh-huh.
And dude, we had a fucking blast.
It was awesome. If we wouldn't have had floor tickets, I don't think it would have been as enjoyable.
No.
Mhm.
But it makes you feel like when if you have a chance to buy a floor ticket to a show at Chesapeake and you really want to go to the show, get a fucking floor ticket because it makes you feel like you're at the Diamond or some other venue.
Yeah.
Because it's just you. You're not paying attention to anyone around you.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome show. It was a great experience to see them there.
What was cool about it, so there were people sitting up in the 300s in the Loud City.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that because I've been to shows there before, concerts there before. I don't know if those are called shows.
Yeah.
there.
I think that's a little.
Yeah.
She moved on from shows at that point. Yeah.
So the last time I went, they had the 300s, which is it's the third tier.
Yeah.
They had that all blocked off.
Huh.
And for
Holy
Blink,
crap.
there were people sitting up there.
Mhm.
But the cool thing is the floor was only probably about half,
Probably.
maybe a little less
That's
than
like-
halfway full.
That's exactly how it was when I seen the Foo Fighters there. Like,
Same thing?
Like the whole kind of back
Were
part
you on-
past
were you on the
soundboard.
floor?
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
kind of comfortable. Because
Yeah.
you could
It ain't too bad.
as I get older, I don't get up to the very front.
Hell no.
And you're kind of a taller dude. Like, you don't need to.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I'm good back here. It sounds better back here. I can
Mhm.
see the whole band. With me, I'm a shorter guy. So there's always the Jesse or the Jake Morrissey.
Yeah, that dude's-
Or the
standing in
Wayne
front of me.
Wedge or somebody in front
Yeah,
of you. Like,
standing in
"Damn
front
it."
of me.
Yeah, Jake makes me feel small. Like, damn, that doesn't happen very often.
Dude, he makes, the Jolly Green Giant and Little Sprout. Do you remember that from,
Yeah.
the, from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
vegetables?
Totally.
I'm Little Sprout to his Jolly Green Giant. And I'm not that short, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely not tall. But yeah, Blink was fucking great.
Mhm.
I didn't expect much from them. I was like, okay, they're probably not going to really sing on key. And like, it's going to be like the Travis Barker show. But dude, Mark Hoppus, his bass tone was incredibly good. They sang perfectly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Matt Skiba, the new addition.
Oh, he's my favorite part.
Dude,
Exactly.
he fits the band perfectly.
Yeah.
He makes the band better, in my opinion. I think the new album's great. Not to sound like a total fanboy, but I've been to a lot of shows, and I've said this. Josh and I, it was probably in my top 3 most entertaining, enjoyable.
I'll definitely put it on that level.
shows.
I mean, even seeing Neil Young and Crazy Horse together, like I'd put Blink maybe above that as far as the show goes.
Yeah.
What they presented, how they did it. It was awesome.
Neil Young was amazing, and
Yeah.
that was definitely like a bucket list item for me. And he did rock. The dude fucking rocked. I could not believe the stage
For like
presence
3 hours.
this guy had. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Blink was just fun. It was the pyro and the screens
Yeah,
and
the big rock show.
and the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Did
Did they play any of the old school
Oh,
shit?
yeah.
they played something off every album. It was pretty great,
Yeah.
man. And I
I nailed it.
I'm not a huge Blink fan, but when I was young, I was.
Yeah, like
Loved them.
15, 16, I'd Had Dude Ranch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I remember cruising around the high school parking lot listening to that in my shitty Dodge Daytona. No, not Dodge Daytona. Dodge Shadow. That's what it was.
Shadow.
But anyways,
The Champagne Shadow?
so talking about the bands and stuff. So, okay, was King Worm your first band?
Ooh,
Or were you in a band before that?
that's taking it back.
Yeah. It's, well, like my first band ended up actually eventually turning into the Roustabouts. It was just like, all right, we're going to change our name, change our style a little bit, do this, do that. But it was always the same core members. So
Mhm.
And who are those members, just to clear
Nick
everything
Wagner,
up? Mm-hmm.
who's in Don't Make Ghosts With Me Now.
Good
He's the lead
dude.
singer. Great dude. Best friend since we were 10. So
10?
yeah.
You got Josh and I beat.
Yeah, me and Nick went
Yeah.
to kindergarten together. So
Holy shit.
yeah, me and Nick
Jeez.
and Rox Kirby.
Oh, rocks.
So we go, oh, yeah, way back. But yeah, first thing we ever did was me, Nick Wagner, and Chris Heron, who was in, King Worm, all that stuff, eventually in the Roustabouts. And we were in a band called 9 Volt. And it was like ska type stuff, chick singer.
All right.
Cool.
That's where it started. We did a little 2-song demo.
Is it Enid?
Hennessy, actually.
Hennessy,
is where
okay.
we're from.
So a small pool to pull
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. Going back, I remember those days, kind of like you said a minute ago, Josh, where like you're all just kind of getting your instruments, kind of feeling everything out. A lot of people hop from guitar to bass or guitar to drums. It usually starts with guitar, I would say most of the
Can I
time.
ask, did you make a ska band because you were in a small town and the people that played instruments were in the band?
We all kind of
Or we
dabbled
just
and
end up-
listened a little bit.
Okay.
So it just, I don't know. It
Did you
just
have
kind
like
of
a-
happened that way.
Did you have like a full horn, like a trumpet?
No, just the
upstroke.
Yeah.
So like Sublimey kind of.
yeah, exactly. And then it
Squad
kick in,
5-0.
yeah, with the rock chorus.
Right.
Sure.
It's like a ska punk.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So that
9 Volt.
9 Volt.
I'm assuming you guys didn't record or anything.
we do have 2 songs recorded.
What?
Yeah, I'd have to dig, but
Dude, you
there's
should digitize it. Put that shit up.
you should start a band camp.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's I'd have to dig, but I know I've got it somewhere. But so, let's see. We lose Wendy, who was our singer, fellow schoolmate. This is all high school band stuff. Then I think that's when King Worm came about, and then we couldn't get shows anywhere, so we ended up started playing the Christian scene.
As you
which
do.
is-
As we all did.
Is when we met.
As Rob says, not a Christian band, Christians
Exactly.
in a band.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But-
We just sing about positive things. We don't cuss.
yeah.
I talk about girls, you know, gotta have one song that specifically says God in it somewhere.
Yeah.
I think we had it mentioned once
yeah.
in any song
You,
in it.
you had to cross that off the list.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
like-
you can play the
No
venues.
pun
It's
intended.
like, proof, dude. Yeah. But,
Well, going back to that, it's funny. Okay, so the first time I ever saw you, that sounds weird. The first time I ever saw you play,
The first time I ever saw
The
you
first
outside
time.
of your window.
yeah, when I wasn't stalking you, I saw King Worm. Actually, my, I guess, very first band, Lockdown at the time,
Oh,
which eventually
11 hours down. I
Yes.
remember vividly.
we played a church that was in, I think it was in an old grocery store. It was in a shopping center on, I believe it was on North May Avenue.
Man.
There was a Chinese restaurant right around the corner in the plaza. King Worm played for sure
Was that
because
the Fish
you gave
Market Mall area?
more north than that.
Okay.
Do you know where the laser tag place is now?
Yeah.
Or was?
Yeah.
I think it's in that shopping center. There's like a Homeland there.
Okay, yeah.
Somewhere over there.
Okay.
King Worm played, and I believe it was you, Jesse, that gave me a sticker.
Yeah. Those little white stickers with the red, and it was like shitty quality. Like,
Yeah, like run off at Kinko's.
oh, yeah.
And it was like a red, just like a almost a Comic Sans font, just like
Yeah.
very simple, like kind of cartoony comic book looking.
yeah, marker.
Yeah. And then a red square around it.
Yep.
I had that sticker on my guitar case for so many years.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude. And I thought you guys were so cool because when I got into playing music, I was still going to church and stuff, and I got my first electric guitar and I joined this Christian hardcore band.
Yeah.
I barely knew how to play, but I was always good at rhythm.
Mhm.
I have never been and will never be a lead guitar player, but I've always been a decent rhythm guitar player.
Yeah.
So I joined this band with dudes that were older than me. And yeah, we played this show together. And I just remember thinking like, whoa, King Worm is real music. I didn't even believe in my own band.
Oh, man. And I thought you guys were great.
Oh, well, for the time, I guess.
Oh man, stage presence. It was awesome.
Did y'all do like the Christian music circuit? Like, did you do the Outer Cafe and all that shit?
I actually drove by that place yesterday, and it's like, man, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like not far from my house at all.
Yeah.
It's like right up the street.
I lived across the street from there about 7 years ago. The apartment across the street, I lived there for 6 months, and it was for lease. Like there's a diner in that parking lot, and I would go there every Saturday and have breakfast. And there's a for lease sign. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking call.
Yeah.
And see how much it is. It's super fucking cheap because I guess no one wants it, but it's that whole U area.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like a Spanish church now, or at least
it was.
It's definitely a church.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a big yellow church sign in front, and that was about it.
It's amazing a venue that gives away free coffee goes out of business.
Right? And doesn't really charge people at the door.
No, dude, I went to so many shows just by going in that side door. Like, because they take a ticket at the door. You take your money at the door, but there's also a side door to go in that hallway. You just go in that door like you're in.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I remember standing. Okay. When you went to the Outer Cafe, you could go downstairs where the coffee bar was, and there was one stage down there. And then you could go up those little like wooden stairs into like the sanctuary area, and that's where the big bands play. It's where I saw like Squad 5-0 and
Joy
Electric, bands like that.
Oh, yeah.
Noggin Toboggan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. World Against World was another one. So many
I believe I saw a
Christian
band
bands.
called Torrance Crump there once.
Sure you did. That was I was playing the bass that I had the Kingworm sticker on the case at the time. But I remember standing. Okay, do you remember when you walked out of there? There was the handicap ramp
that big ramp
snaked around and went up. I remember sitting there and I overhearing the band name Roustabouts. And it was like, yeah, it's the guys from King Worm. And I was like, whoa.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I was like, I gotta get me some of that. And that was so long ago.
Yeah.
If you think about it. And the Roustabouts were a band, or are you guys, is that dead? Or, cause y'all played a show what was it, a couple years ago?
Yeah. Well, we broke up, I think it was like 2005-ish, I think. And then we kind of played reunion shows a little.
Okay, that's what it was.
Far too often to where it's like this ain't a reunion.
Right.
Yeah.
So Nick Massey doesn't live here anymore. He's back in South Carolina. So, yeah.
I love the Massey.
Crucial part of the Roustabouts.
Yeah. And I don't know. We're just having such a good time and Don't Make Ghosts. It's like, you guys
are ripping it. It's probably, of local bands, you guys are my favorite local
Thanks, man.
I listened to the EP yesterday, dude.
It's so tight. We were talking on the way home from work today. I rode home with Robbie again today. Don't know, whatever.
We should just get married.
Let's just do it, man. Fuck our wives.
Yeah.
It's bromance. We were talking about how it sounds great. I hear a lot of Husker Du in it. Vocals, like the vocals sound so fucking good.
Thanks.
It sounds great. And your drums obviously sound badass.
Well, that's how I explained it to Josh today. I said, I listened to the whole EP at work yesterday in preparation for tonight. And that's exactly what I told Josh. I said, the drums sound good. They always sound good.
Yeah.
Punchy, loud, fun, great. Okay, the bass tone's great. The guitar sounds great. But dude, that's what I told Josh. I was like, dude, the vocals, there's something about those vocals. I don't know if it's the way they were recorded, the way they were delivered, a combination of both. But there's something about the vocals on that EP that just really struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
Like, they sound so fucking good.
Yeah.
Dude, it sounded very, like, I thought I was listening to Bob Mould. Like, it's what it sounded like to me. Like, young Bob Mould. So it made me like, fuck, this. But it doesn't come out like, because it's doubled vocal. I mean, he sounds that way live, but live he gets a little more gritty with it.
Yeah, and he's toned his voice like he used to just yell in the Roustabouts. So now
Roustabouts is more yelly.
So his voice has come a long way.
It just sounds kind of like, I guess if I could sum it up in one word, it just sounds timeless. Because I was thinking to myself when I was listening to it, which by the way, it's don'tmakeghost.bandcamp.com.
Yep.
And when I was listening to it, I was just like, dude, timeless is the word that comes to mind, because like I couldn't tell if this was like something from the early 90s that was just recorded really well, or if it's something modern or something that was found or a mix of all of this. It was just, man, like I didn't expect any less than really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so pleasantly surprised with just how catchy it was, and I was just fucking into it, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah,
man.
dude,
I dug it.
It means a
Well,
lot.
like on the way back, we were talking about it, and Robbie goes, "Who's all in the band?" And you obviously, Nick obviously, Dirk, and Jared. And he goes, "That name sounds really familiar." Like, played in the fucking Mimsies.
Yeah.
He goes, "What?" It's like, yeah. So it's like a super group of like, like really great musicians.
It's two roustabouts, a Blacklist Royals, and a Mimsy.
and a
Yeah.
Mimsy.
Yeah.
Well, and also white girls. I mean, Dirk
Yeah,
played
that's-
guitar in
right.
white girls
That's,
with you.
Yeah, and Jared. All three of us were in the
Was
White Girls.
okay, Jared wasn't white
Jared
girls.
was lead guitar in
Okay.
White Girls, so that's kind of how the band like started. Like Nick came to me with,
That's what I was
you
gonna say. How did you guys start? Because I mean, I remember the first thing I remember was like a picture posted of you guys practicing in a garage.
Yeah.
And it was like, you don't even know what's coming. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
yeah.
So how'd you guys get this thing going? Like, what started it?
Nick had just been writing a shitload of songs.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of these songs we have, like he came with up to me. You know, we jammed once in my garage. He was like, "I've got a bunch of songs. I'm ready to try to do this." So we started just jamming one time, and it was awesome. It felt like we were like, I don't know, 14 again, because
Yeah.
we just started. That's
Garage
what we did.
jams, yeah.
Yeah, like jammed in his room and wrote all these songs, you know, back then, and it just felt it was a flashback. It was
Yeah.
just like, man, this is awesome. We need to get some other dudes involved in this and try to do it. And Nick was like, "Who do you think?" And Dirk immediately popped in my head just because it's like I want to play bass with Dirk, or
Mhm.
Dirk to play bass in a band with us.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I was just like, and Jared, like they were my two other favorite dudes to like play with in quite a while. So
Mhm.
it was just like, get all these guys
Bring it all
together,
together.
and it's been a pretty organic experience.
Now,
Yeah.
how long have you guys been playing together? At this
Just a
point?
little over a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
So
and you just played the high-low, what, like last weekend?
just
last weekend.
last Friday, yeah.
That was a killer show. That was
We were a
good show.
little loose, but
It was good.
the high-low will do that to you. We were
Ugh.
a little,
I will say
sloppy.
this, that the Powerhouse show you guys played the weekend before, a couple weekends before,
Uh-huh.
I've seen you guys play quite a few times now. I love that Powerhouse show only because it was you guys and a bunch of other bands, and when you guys played, there wasn't a whole lot of people. Like there
No.
was an art show, there's like a whole bunch of things going
Mhm.
on, and it was, but you guys gave it your all. Like it sounded awesome. That's the thing when you guys play. I love watching because each one of you have your own little idiosyncrasies
Mm-hmm.
with how you perform. And Nick is all over the place. Dirk does his rocky sway thing.
Yeah.
You beat the shit out of your drums and it's badass. And then Jared does this little, I fucking love Jared's sway. He
Yeah.
does that little
that's
guitar
what it
sway.
is. It's a sway.
And so if you out there, if you guys have a chance to go see Domingos, fucking do it. It's well worth your time. They sound great and it's a good show. Like it's just fun. You guys are really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. I like being in a fun band. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about, man. We're
Now, you
having
want to get
fun.
up there and just like play and get the fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
That's boring. I don't like that shit.
No way.
Well, speaking of fun, okay, so let's go back to King Worm.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're warming it.
Time
You're,
machine about.
Worming it.
you're warming it all over the Christian scene. And
That sounds weird.
right?
Playing coffee houses and churches everywhere.
Yeah. Mocha Madness. Did you guys Mocha Madness?
That
it?
was our first, like my first real show. Like real show was a little.
Oh no, my
that
first
was
real
like,
show was
wow,
Mocha
there's
Madness.
people
too.
going to be watching us.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
it
like
was-
10 people in here.
Yeah.
Wait, and I'm not running the vocals through a 10-watt practice amp.
Exactly.
This is awesome.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
And I have a mic. There's a mic stand.
Yeah. It's not a broomstick taped to a folding chair.
Yeah, our old bass player, his dad had to bring his Suburban up and bring all our gear up for us, and he's kind of a
He was,
burly redneckish type.
he's your
and-
roadie.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he walked in, he didn't want nothing to do with it. He was
No.
just like, "Fuck this, I'm going to Chili's." Like, out of here. Like,
So
want
going-
nothing. This is stupid. But now we played Mocha Madness, and
Awesome.
yeah,
There was-
I couldn't remember the name of that place. I was trying to think of it because Outer
Yeah.
Cafe.
Dude, that's
was
another
like,
one that I drive past every
Yep.
now and then. My parents live in Midwest City, and every now and then I have to go down Air Depot to get to wherever. And I'll drive by, and it's a nail salon. And every time I drive by, I'm like, man, so many fucking memories of that spot. Like, and you think of like you were talking about the Outer Cafe, the handicap ramp. Mocha Madness, it's a small little spot, window. It's all window,
Mhm.
and everyone smoked cigarettes outside or hung out outside.
Right.
Do you remember that in the back, right behind it, there was like that little foyer area?
Yeah, like right across from the bingo hall.
Yeah. And you just walk around there and talk, like talk with a girl or
Yeah.
God, it's such a
Maybe get a kiss.
maybe get a number,
Maybe. Magical times.
a home phone number.
I'm having a hard time remembering where that place even was. It's like Midwest City or
Midwest
something?
City.
Midwest City, Air Depot,
Okay.
Air Depot Boulevard.
Between
Air
15th
Depot
and
Boulevard?
Reno.
Is
Yeah.
it Boulevard?
Yeah.
Is it a boulevard?
Air Depot Boulevard. yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a depot or a boulevard or both.
It was Air Depot, but it's Air Depot Boulevard.
And
Yeah.
like 15th?
15th between 15th and Reno, but closer to 15th.
Yeah. And now it's a nail salon,
Yeah.
which it has been for many, many years.
A long time.
And I do the same thing. Like my dad lives out in Choctaw, so a couple weeks ago I was coming back from his house after visiting him, and I was like, man, I'm gonna turn the blinker on, take an old right,
Mm-hmm.
get off on Air Depot,
See what's going on.
just take a little drive around because I spent a lot of time in Midwest City.
Yeah.
as a teenager.
Skateland.
Yeah, I mean, I had many jobs there.
Oh, yeah.
Drove up and down Air Depot, Midwest Boulevard, Douglas. A lot of boulevards in a row. Douglas, Midwest, Air Depot. It's weird. Anyways, went back and revisited. Everything is different, but so much is like the same.
Mhm.
It's weird. Like,
Just has that same vibe and feel.
yeah, depression,
Yeah.
Yeah.
disparity, all that. But yeah, it's funny. Those times were, in my opinion, very magical. These the Christian scene, the coffee houses, the churches, the basement cafes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
all that stuff. I look back at that, and a lot of people get like douched out about it, or like they brush it off.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are just like they write it off super, super easily. I don't. Like, I kind of wear that as not in a prideful way, but I kind of wear it as like a badge of honor. Like,
Yeah.
man, I grew
Yeah.
up in that. Like, I'm not going to be ashamed of that.
Dude,
Mhm.
if it wasn't for those venues, I mean, you called them, I mean, they were venues for us. If it wasn't for places like that, who knows what would we even be doing what we do? Like, would we be playing? You wouldn't have had a chance to play a show. Like
Yeah,
you said,
'cause exactly.
my first real show was at a Mocha Madness.
Mm-hmm.
And we were so fucking stoked to play it. And it was just small, little, tiny corner stage. And then there's, Outer Cafe and these other little spots you can go play at. And it gave you a sense of like, okay, this isn't just me playing in a garage. I could do something with this. People seem to be enjoying it. Let's play more shows.
Well, it's in a sense, and tell me if I'm wrong, Jesse, but it's the same thing we're doing now.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're still playing in a garage, and then when we get some songs together with some friends, we go play them. And it's not like you're doing it for the money
No,
or the fame.
not at
It's
all.
like, no, it's because I love doing this, and you like to perform, and
Oh,
you
I
like
wanna
to
play some music, man.
Yeah.
and maybe yeah, just what you said, like maybe it's even simpler than that. It's not I like to perform, I like to take the stage. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I like to play music.
Yeah.
And that's a cool
You know
thing.
what else is cool? A lot of places when you play, you get free beer. So I don't get free beer in my garage when I play with my friends. Like, hey, can we play a show? Cool.
We do get free beer on the Boys podcast.
We do from Anthem Brewing. Right now, I'm having a Eurobura stout. I think you are as well.
Yes,
Cheers, fellas.
Yes.
Jesse's having an IPA.
We're gonna air cheers here.
Cheers here. Air cheers.
Oh, we got in there. We got in there. Make it real. Speaking of, would you hand me another Anthem?
I sure will.
Thank you. Oh, this delicious Anthem
They are quite delicious.
They-
goes down
dude.
so smoothly.
They really are great.
Okay, so you're going through, you're worming your way through the Christian scene. What happens? When does King Worm? Did King Worm turn into Roustabouts, or was there some like?
No, there were two names in between.
Okay.
Same lineup, and then we eventually ended up meeting Daniel Felton. I think the first name was the Bomars, and we started playing like Screeching Weasel, like
Yeah.
pop punk.
Was Daniel always the guitar player, or did he? Because I know he's a fucking ripping bass
He's
player
a
too.
solid, great bass player.
All around
man.
musician.
Yeah.
He plays drums crazy well too.
Talent
Yeah.
of all trades, that's
Yeah.
for sure. And can sing, can do it all.
Oh yeah.
So the Bomars.
Yeah, the Bomars. So we're doing that, and then we started playing in Enid, and we started renting out like the American Legion Hall and stuff. We ran into Daniel, who was renting out the American Legion Hall and stuff. And we're like, oh shit, there's actually bands playing up here, and it's
Yeah.
like punk stuff. So we're like, oh, awesome, man, that guy's pretty cool. He kind of looks like us. It's like, do you play guitar? It's like, a little bit. So we got him to come jam with us, and we changed our name to the Blanks. That's when we started to kind of get into the secular scene, I would
Sure.
Yeah.
Branch out.
Yeah. started playing Music Dimensions.
A little
stuff
dirtier
like
punk
that.
rock kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So the Blanks, we played Music Dimensions a bunch, stuff like that. And then where'd we go from there? I think after that, it's when we went to the Roustabouts.
Yeah. So Music Dimensions on Western Avenue.
No, on 16th.
And Meridian.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Why do I... There was a Music Dimensions on Western Avenue.
Yes, there was.
Oh, yeah.
It was by Tigger's Body Piercing.
Yeah, and Television Factory, all those shops.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I know this show is kind of based around nostalgia, but Television Factory just blew my fucking mind. I haven't thought about that place since I was in that place many, many years ago.
Yeah.
With like some girl I was trying to date or something.
Sure.
I want to go there. And I had to like buy her something. And I was like young and poor. And those dollars were so crucial.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to buy you a $7 magnet. No, kill me. Man, wow.
I want to get a triple cheese and bacon.
Yeah, I saw some cool shows at the Music Dimensions on 16th. Again, not that far from here right now.
That's when we started like opening up for touring bands and stuff. At the Bomars and the Blanks era, I get like confused. It's like it was such a like short
Hodgepodge,
span, yeah. And then it's like, well, we started liking a little more like punk rock stuff, and it's like we need to change our name. So came up with the Roustabouts, and that ballooned pretty quick.
Yeah,
we
you
did
guys
a
like
lot.
you guys. Yeah, you like toured, like did a lot of out of state stuff.
Yeah,
like
we did.
was it Kansas where you guys played a lot of stuff, or was it Nebraska?
Kansas City.
Okay, Kansas
yeah.
City.
Mm.
I remember you guys going there a lot. And yeah, when I first heard about you guys, like Roustabout, that sounds like a cool name. Then I heard your music, these guys are fucking tight as shit. Yeah, they play out of town a lot. Like, what? How do you play out of town?
And I did my first like tour. It was about a week long. It was over spring break when I was like 17 in high school. Like
Jeez.
we went out. Yeah, Nick and Chris, our bass player, come home with like tattoos on their arms and shit. And it's like, oh my god.
Oh yeah,
You
that
guys are
was
only
cool now.
18. Yeah. So yeah,
That's crazy.
So when you changed to the Roustabouts, do you feel like that was the moment where things started, like kind of where you hit that bell curve and started going up?
Mhm.
What did that feel like? So first of all, let me go back. How old were you then? Were you 16, 17?
Roustabouts was, I think we changed our name to the Roustabouts in 99. So yeah, 17.
Okay. And
Now
how
that can't be right. That's wrong. What do you think?
99 would be, I'm 34.
Man, I'm getting old.
Right?
Same.
Ooh, but yeah, once we changed our name to the Roustabouts, stuff like the Green Door opened on
Yeah.
Western. It's like, wow, there's like a real
Like a
freaking
venue.
here.
Yeah, that's not a Christian brand. Yeah.
And we played Music Dimensions and stuff. The new one on Western is the Roustabouts. But once the like Green Door got here, it was like all these bands started coming through.
Yeah, that was the place to play.
And we played there so much, at least once or twice a month. So we'd play, small shows just to get like the big shows.
Mhm.
So we'd open up for, huge bands, Fat Records bands and stuff. It's like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to ask. Like, how did that make you feel as like a young guy, kind of in this like local band that was, like I said, hitting the part of that bell curve where it starts to actually go up? And you've always been a pretty humble dude.
Yeah.
So and I haven't been like it's funny. Like I was talking to our buddy Matt, who was on our last episode, and going back to that buy the van feeling. It took me a long time to not feel like I was gonna make it. And I'm not even that good. I just thought I was going to get lucky or play with the right people or whatever and make it. Like, fuck work. I'm not going to work the rest of my life. I'm going to play music for a living.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older and I see, I'm a little wiser. I see that that's not only next to impossible, but if you don't dedicate 100% of yourself, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And I never dedicated 100% of myself.
Oh,
No.
we worked shitty jobs. It was like, we're going to work jobs. If we have to quit, it's like, who gives a shit? I'll get another job when I get back.
Well, what was that like?
Well, luckily enough, I got a job selling Christian long distance at a telemarketing place that let me take off whenever the hell I wanted. So I was lucky.
Did you tell them you were in a Christian band?
I think they knew that they knew we weren't. We
Okay.
were already like, they knew we weren't in a Christian band at the times.
Right.
That, yeah.
A Christian long distance? That's super specific.
It was a total fucking scam.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, supposedly like 15% of your bill or something went to the charity of your choice.
But it goes to the Baptist convention
it never
or
went
whatever.
anywhere.
You know, Rob, you had a shitty high school job working in telemarketing as well, right?
I had a few, yeah. One telemarketing job.
Clean.
Yeah, I worked for a man, it was weird. I found an ad in the local newspaper for a telemarketing job.
Did it say rock stars wanted?
Something like that. Yeah, like young, vibrant, blah, 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 whatever. And I went and I applied and they gave me a job that very day.
Mm-hmm.
And this was Scam City.
Oh, man.
It was bad.
Yeah. The Christian long distance thing was, I mean, you think when you have a telemarketing job, you know, you got a headset, a computer in front of you, you know, the whole setup. I had a like shitty, just, you know, touch tone phone and then a folder with like a printout of all these numbers to call. So I'd show up early and I eventually all the roustabouts ended up working there at a time because I was like, dudes, come on.
Perfect job.
But they kept getting fucking like fired and, you know, just Daniel worked there and I think it ate at his soul. Like he was like, I remember we worked in the same room together and he was on the phone with this lady and our whole stick was like, you need to switch from the current long distance company you're at because they support pornography.
Whoa, scare tactics.
Yeah. And then all these people, oh my God. And so we had to like try to convince them to switch over to a Christian long distance company that was total bullshit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And Daniel was, I could see he was like hunkered down, like just like trying to talk. And I guess he was talking to this little old lady and she started crying, like bawling. She said, I don't want my money going to pornography. And like, that was it. He was out. But the rest of us, it was just like, shit, I'm going to show up 10 minutes early, get a couple of inbound sales calls. My job's done. We're going to make some fucking prank calls. So we fucking just prank called all fucking evening.
Do you remember anything in particular?
Yeah, man. Our friend Kent, we ended up starting to call just like random businesses when they're closed and like leaving messages. You're like, my name's Kent Dewall. And we worked this story that he had a Pekingese dog into every single message. Like, my name's Kent. I was looking, call like a photography place. I was looking to get some photos taken of me and my little Pekingese dog. Can you call me back? My number is blah, 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 blah. And we called all these businesses, like all over the country, and left all these different messages about this little Pekingese dog. And he's just getting these phone calls back all the time, people asking about his Pekingese. And he was just baffled, had no idea where the hell this was coming from.
Well, it's like a slow burn.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's
It's like you're planting seeds.
Plant seeds. Maybe it comes out. Maybe they call back.
I don't think I ever told him that, that was us. So
That's awesome.
Now you know.
yeah, Kent, you're listening? Sorry, buddy.
Dude, that's making the most out of a shitty situation
Yeah.
in a job for sure.
Well, that happened to us at the carpet cleaning place. So we placed outbound calls to schedule carpet cleaning appointments. And it was just like a couple of guys in a van that would go around and clean carpets.
Mm-hmm.
Not licensed, bonded, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll one up you, Jesse. We didn't have printouts. On our first day, he handed me and my buddy Alan phone books. And we just ripped a page out a day.
Go.
Went down the list. Started at A, went down the list. So one day we're getting bored, as you do as a kid at a mindless job.
Mm-hmm.
And we start kind of like we sit right next to each other. No cubicles, nothing. We're like sitting at like one of those church style long tables that have like the fold up legs.
Oh, God.
You know those.
Yeah.
Sitting there, same thing, touch tone phones, page out of the white pages with a pencil.
Yeah.
Going down. And we start kind of doing the same thing. We start kind of like pranking. And we kind of start trying to one up each other, like with the pranking, you know. So Chem Clean turned into Come Clean.
Oh.
So we would say, oh yeah, this is Robbie with Come Clean. And which doesn't sound terrible
What'd
to
you
like a granny. Like,
No.
Come Clean. Like,
Come
if your mind's not in the gutter, it's like, yeah,
Come clean.
Come
Mhm.
clean. We'd be like, Come Clean. We're going to spray our special residue all over your carpet. And like, we would start doing stuff like, so we were like soft pranking people.
Yeah.
Like, not coming out and like being vulgar.
But the thing is, that was just for you. Like, no one else was going to hear that.
No.
That's just for you.
Just for us. Just for me and Alan.
That's so awesome.
So we're doing that one day, and we're getting deeper and deeper, and our boss walks by, and he's like, man, if I could personify Taz, our boss was that. Like, mulleted, white trash, sunburnt, always angry, always in a tizzy. And he heard us one day. And it was like Beavis and Butthead style. He like grabbed both of us by the collar.
Yeah, the gym coach. Come here.
Yes. Yeah. And like drug us to his office, which was a dilapidated teacher's desk on the other side of the room. And he was like, sit your asses down. How dare you fuck with my business? And I mean, we were both just like, he's going to kill us. And he threw us out, like literally showed us the door and like pushed us out of the door. And we were like, what about our paychecks? And he was just like, fuck off, never come back. And so we got in the car, which was my white Chevy Lumina at the time, rolled the windows down, and I put in the first corn tape. And I fucking blasted it as we were like, as I like peeled out in reverse out of the gravel driveway. It was awesome.
Dude, that sounds so shady.
It was shady as fuck. It was, man, it was like, it was back when like smoking was still like totally the norm. So here's me and my friend. We were both 16 years old in this room with like this like closeted homosexual man, and then this like really obese woman, and then like a couple of like white trash, like methed out people. And they were all just like chain smoking cigarettes. And I'd come home from work and my dad would be like, are you smoking?
Yeah.
I was like, I was at work. I'm sorry. You know, and he didn't believe me. He thought we were hotboxing the car out or something.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Which you totally could have.
We should have.
But you didn't like smoking. You were anti-smoking.
Yeah, I was. I didn't like that back then.
Not a fan.
No, it's gross.
It was a Christian.
True. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. That was Don't Make Ghosts with their song Highway 27 off their new EP. You can get that on don'tmakeghosts.bandcamp.com. That's correct, right?
That is correct, sir.
Just want to make sure, because that's the second time I said that tonight.
Speaking of .coms, there's a boyspodcast.com where you can find links to our Facebook, Instagram, all of the other social media accoutrements. There's a gold donate button if you want to donate to the podcast. It really helps out. Thanks of those who have donated. It's much appreciated.
Yes, very much so. And Jesse, thank you for coming on tonight. It's so far so great.
Hell yeah. Thank you, guys.
My beer tastes like Old El Paso refried beans. I was bringing back a joke.
That's what you said about the dog food earlier, which Anthem, it's not dog food.
Anthem. It ain't refried beans.
One more plug, anthembrewing.com. Thank you for the beers. It's very appreciated here on the show.
Very much so.
So let's dive back in. And so we're talking about roustabouts.
Yeah.
We're talking about things like that. Prank calling.
Yeah.
Joe jobs to get you to the next show, the next outing, weekend tour, week-long tour. Still in high school at the time.
Actually, we were out of high school when we were in the telemarketing era.
Oh, okay.
That was probably around 2002, like right when our record came out. And
were you guys still in Hennessy, Enid area? Or?
No, we'd moved to Oklahoma City at the time.
City.
Yeah.
Okay.
We moved 2000, probably right when we all graduated, packed up and came to Oklahoma City and started gigging around everywhere.
What would you say is the highlight of roustabouts? If you had to pick a moment or an era or a show or something.
Oh, man. Probably I'm just going to go favorite show was New Year's Eve 2002. Our album had been out since mid-2002, so kind of in the heat of everything. And we headlined a show at the Green Door on Western and sold out. It was awesome. And I don't know, I just remember it was like, we were like, we got to go on right at midnight. And like Reggie got up on stage and it was just like, all right, countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it was midnight. Everybody started screaming. And then it was just like, we came right in. It was just pretty magical.
Yeah.
Again, a magical moment,
Mhm.
man. That's great.
Playing venues like the Masquerade in Atlanta and stuff like that. That like, it was like, wow, Nirvana played here. It was like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
That's
stuff
awesome.
like that. Yeah. And just actually getting out and going on like 2.5 month long tours to support a record. It's like, it's hard to do now.
Yeah, you can't do that shit now. I really wish I had. We've got friends that are in bands like Cherry Death's the band. They're out on a tour right now. I really wish I had free time to do that. Because again, it's not about, like you said earlier, it's not about making money. It's about just doing it. It's a lot of fun just playing music. And I mean, it's also fun being on the road with friends too.
Yeah.
It's kind of shitty being on the road with friends too after a couple days, weeks, whatever. It's like, but it's still fun. It just can't. I don't think it happen after you tap 30. Like it makes it a lot more difficult to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's impossible,
Not impossible.
but it's way harder to make that time and to financially
Keep a job.
well,
Yeah.
especially
Families, all that stuff.
Oh, dude, holiday weekends are like, that's your go-to, like
Yeah.
Labor Day and like that kind of stuff. Yeah, do a 4-day week. It's 4 days out. We're doing it.
yeah, the weekend warrior type thing. And
Yep.
and big props to any band that still does that, because as I got older, not that I'm an old man, but as I get older, you know, we've talked about this before. It's just I never went all in. You know, and I do have some regrets with that. But also I'm just not road worn, road ready. You know, I'm not a road dog, as they say. And I think that's like really admirable.
Yeah.
Whether you're younger, older, or whatever. But, you know, I see like our friend Lacey and Tim and Kylan and all those people are
Brent and all those folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all those friends. They're doing that shit now as like, I mean, some of them are younger, but like our friend Lacey, like, oh yeah, she's younger too. But you know,
But she's never done that. Like, she's came to me. This is their second tour. The first tour, she came to me. We were at the Opolis at a Melt Banana show. And it was in between bands. And she goes, I'm about to go on my first tour. What's it like? Because I've gone on a tour. Like, it's cool. Like, how long are you guys going out? It's like, oh, it's like a few days. I'm like, oh, don't worry about that. A few days is fine. If it's when you start going for like weeks at a time, a month at a time, like that's when it starts getting like stressful. And they went out for like pretty much a month, like 3.5 weeks. That's a lot. Tim seems like he does this shit all the time. And I kind of envy that.
yeah.
Like, and with different bands, with Cherry Death, with American Hate, with all the other projects that he does, he just fucking does it. And he does the same thing that you guys used to do. I'm just going to work a job that I can leave and come back to, either waiting tables or bartending or bar backing or whatever, and do that.
That's where I've always been like, kind of like envious, because I've always been like scared to not have that solid
Security.
the security. Exactly. And so I've always been kind of envious and maybe a bit jealous of that. But then, you know, I've had friends that are like, man, I wish I had a real good job, you know, and not that I'm rolling in the dough, but it's like, I've never had to be like, oh God, I can't pay rent or whatever.
I think it's a grass is greener thing. Like we've both been on both sides. Like we've both, and I still have that same kind of, like we both have the Christian guilt. We still have the we didn't do enough to make the band make it. You know what I mean? That I have that. You have that. Maybe that has to. But the other guys who are doing it now, like, yeah, but it's cool to make money. Like you got a job and health insurance. Like, yeah, but man, you're doing that. Like at a younger age, that's fucking commendable.
Yeah.
If you're in your 20s and you can go out and play shows, go out and fucking play shows.
Yeah, I was underage most of the time. Like 20 and then 21 at tops when we were touring. So
keep going, keep
got
doing
it out
that
early.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, what was it like to be younger, underage, and touring? I mean, I couldn't imagine.
It was different. because I remember like certain bars, like we'd play, and it's like you got to wait outside until you can come in and play. So I'd just be sitting out there on a bench or something. And
Really?
And then as soon as you're done, you have to leave.
Yeah, and all the other guys are like, we're 21, 22. They're having a good old time.
Yeah.
I didn't even drink back then though, so I can't complain too much. So
What did you do? This was like pre-cell phone era.
yeah, we had one cell phone.
Did you like crosswords?
Man, I don't remember what I did.
What did you do before cell phone?
Yeah.
You did that thing where you knock the circle down the street with a stick,
There we go.
or like the ball, you flip it up and put it in the cup.
Mm-hmm.
There was those. What else? What are some old games before the internet?
That's way old, like Mad Libs. Maybe do some Mad Libs
There you go.
by yourself. Lonesome Mad Libs. Oh, there's got to be
Mad Lib by yourself.
There's got to be some YouTube videos or Snapchats of lonesome Mad Libs with a person doing it with themselves.
That's sad.
I know, sad libs. TM, do not fucking take that shit. Sad libs.
Sad libs, the Mad Libs you play by yourself. But you couldn't be surprised. Like you
No,
would
no,
know.
No. What you do is it's the same thing. Like you like with the Mad Libs, you have one page and it's you ask for an adjective, a noun, or whatever. You do that with yourself, and then you flip the page like, oh, I just cracked myself up.
Yeah.
That's fucking depressing,
Mad Libs is depressing. Life is depressing, but Mad Libs is pretty depressing.
I guess.
Anyways,
So okay, I want to go back even further, Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, and this might sound like a hack question, but like, what got you started into playing music? Let's go back to when you were a kid.
Okay.
All right, let's get into that. So you're from Hennessy?
Hennessy, Oklahoma.
Now, where exactly is that
It
in relation to
is,
where we are now in Oklahoma City?
20 miles south of Enid.
Okay.
So it's northwest of here a bit.
Okay.
About an hour and a half away.
Okay.
northwest or northeast?
More just straight north. But
Okay.
yeah, west, definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a kid. When did you start playing drums or did you start playing another instrument?
Started playing guitar at 10, actually. Nick's dad, Nick Wagner, Roustabouts Don't Make Ghosts, his dad was in these country cover bands and gigged every weekend and had awesome gear. Nick's first guitar was a freaking deluxe Telly. And
Damn.
like a Fender Bassman, like full stack or half stack. It's
Nice.
like, Jesus. So I was just, holy shit. Once we started hanging out around 10 o'clock. Jesus Christ.
Every night at 10
Yeah.
o'clock, we started hanging out.
Once we started hanging around when we were like 10 years old, like, it was just like, oh shit, you got a guitar? And I was like, I want to play guitar. So my parents, I begged them to buy me a guitar.
Mhm.
Little $99 guitar out of a JCPenney's catalog.
A Harmony or an Epiphone or something?
Synsonics, I think
Oh,
was the
Wait.
okay.
Was it the Terminator by Synsonics?
I think
I
it
don't remember. It had one tiny little pickup in it.
did it
Okay.
have
and
an
was-
amp built into it.
Yeah, where you could play it through
Terminator by
the stereo.
Sensonics. That's exactly what it was.
That was my
Yeah.
first guitar.
So
Now,
I, had,
mine had a built-in speaker,
Yeah.
like on the guitar.
I didn't have that.
Okay, but same brand,
Mhm.
different model.
Yeah, we started jamming.
A real piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Totally. Oh, yeah. But we started jamming and playing guitar together, and I started taking guitar lessons. His dad was a great guitar player, like phenomenal. One of the better guitar players I've ever seen.
Did you take lessons from him?
No, I took
Okay.
lessons from a heavy metal dude in Enid, which was rad. And every Friday it was just like, all right, just bring in a song, whatever you want to play, and I'll teach you how to play it. So it's just like you work all week, learn scales, all that shit. And it's like Friday's like fun day. So,
Right.
yeah, it was rad.
That's what I did. I started when I was about 14,
Mm-hmm.
and I took lessons for probably like a year at Jenkins Music in Midwest City.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I learned like the basic blues scale, learned how to do open chords,
Yeah,
and then I learned the bar chord.
that changed it all.
It totally did, man. And I got to the point where Mike Hagar, my instructor, was like, all right, bring in some songs, and I would dub them on a tape. I would either like wait and listen to like
95X.
it might have been before that. It might have just been the Cat, or maybe just like dub off of a friend's tape or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was bringing things like Smashing Pumpkins, Bush, bands like that,
Mhm.
STP. And eventually my instructor was like, Robbie, we need to quit wasting time here.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm going to show you this thing called a power chord, and you can figure out any of these. And he taught me, he goes, start at E, the low string, and just take your first finger and listen to the song and go up until it sounds right. And then take your third finger and put it one string up, 2 frets forward, and you can play any of these songs. He's like, I can sit here and show you this stuff over and over, but we're just wasting time because you can figure this out on your own. And that's when I quit taking guitar lessons.
Yep.
I was like, I got it. I can play the stuff I want to play.
Yeah, that's kind of similar what happened to me. And then, well, I think we were 14 years old, and it was just like, man, we need to get a drum set. And Nick's parents bought a drum set. It was a little, I think it was a CB kit. It was that red kit I played in like King Worm and all those old bands. And then he was actually the original drummer. Like he was drumming and I was playing guitar.
Yeah.
So that flipped around pretty quick.
Dude, those CB kits were garbage.
Oh man, they were shit.
And the only reason I say that is because our buddy Matt, who was on the last episode, he had a CB kit. And it came with the hi-hat and the ride, but the hi-hat was so shitty.
Yeah.
If you stepped on the hi-hat too much, the top hi-hat would turn inside out.
Yeah.
And like in bed, like 2 plates sitting on top of each other in your cabinet. So shitty.
Yeah, I used that kit all the way up until the roustabouts.
Did you really?
Yep.
So King Worm was CB in it?
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
I thought you guys sounded so good. Little did I know.
I guess I've been good at tuning, I guess, because, man, those things were...
You really can. If you can buy a shitty drum kit, as long as you put good heads on it and know how to tune it properly, you can make it sound great. I had a Pacific, not a PDP, a Pacific, one of those like junior starter kits. And then you just put some decent heads on it, tune it up nice, maybe take the wrap off, make it stain it, make it look nice. Decent kit. Maybe not for like recording or anything, but you can still play on it and it'll be all right.
Yeah.
You can't really do that with a guitar. You can't buy like a piece of shit guitar and make it sound great.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I always thought that guitar gear was like the cheap thing to buy. Because when I was a kid and we were forming our little garage bands, you know, same thing. We all started out playing guitar. And like, I remember speaking of my friend Alan from earlier, he had a younger brother, a year younger, and they both played, and I use large air quotes here, played guitar. Never took a lesson, but, you know, had a buddy or the dad's friend at church that gave them lessons or whatever. And their dad came home with this 90s Fender Squier Stratocaster. And it was the cheapest, shittiest guitar, but it was the first friend that had an electric guitar. Because I started on an acoustic, a shitty acoustic, like terrible guitar. And to actually, he bought them that, and then a small little like 10-watt PV Rage combo that was the size of a shoebox.
Like a crate one like that or something. Just total piece of shit amp.
Oh, but dude, it had distortion.
Yep.
The button. You just,
the PV one, I believe it was called Saturation or Super Satch, I think is what it was called.
That's a sexy way to put it.
Right.
Super Satch.
Sold so many to confuse parents over the years. But we would crank that thing up and just make noise. And going back, I think, God, our parents must have hated us.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing musical about it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Made a lot of noise and not in the cool way. Like just terrible, out of tune. When I got my very, very first guitar, it was this like Japanese, no name, which would probably be cool to play now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it was this piece of shit. And it didn't have a high E string tuner. And my reasoning behind it, when I took it to my guitar instructor, I said, well, I can just put the string through the hole. And I had a nail in the back of the headstock. And I was like, I can just wrap the string around a nail to tune it. And he was like, you've got a lot to learn.
Man.
It was shitty. It was shitty. So back to the CB drums.
Yeah.
You started playing then? Like, what made you decide to do drums? Was it just like did you draw the shortest straw?
Well, we kind of traded off back and forth, and we ended up playing our high school talent show in the band that was 9 Volt, our first act.
Did you play a cover?
We played Just a Girl by No Doubt.
Okay, we had a girl singer.
Yeah, I played guitar on that one. And
Keeping it in that ska punk.
God, we played a Local H song.
Superman's dead.
No.
That's Our Lady Peace. That's Our Lady Peace.
The
Is it?
Eddie Vedder. We
Eddie
played-
Vedder.
yeah.
That's one of them.
It's a good one.
We played that, and we swapped instruments, and everyone was just like, you guys should swap. Like, Jesse's a good drummer. So it kind of took over after that and never went back.
Did you win?
I don't think so.
I think you
Man.
should have in a small town like that. Just a girl.
Man, the same talent show. Nick has an older brother, half brother, and he sang The River by Garth Brooks.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
I bet he took it home.
Oh, he took it home. So he's standing up, he's got spotlight on him, and he's got a mic like this with a big old fuzzy head on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the song starts, and he like places the mic right here, right where the dick is.
Mm-hmm.
And so you see this big old shadow, like silhouette on the side of the gymnasium. And it's just boom with this big old foamy head.
That's perfect. And this was an accident.
It was a total accident. And we're sitting there like, all right, he's about to start singing. And like me, Nick, and Rox are all sitting together. And I think I look over and I was just like, look. And everybody like around us looks and just erupts in laughter.
Shadow
And
dick.
the whole gymnasium just starts laughing. And the song starts. The tempo's coming up. He starts slapping his hand against his thigh, keeping up with the tempo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like doing this, going up and down. And the shadow looks like he's beating
Oh,
off.
my God. Now, let me ask you this. When the eruption happened, did he take that as like, I got it. These kids like me. I'm doing well.
I think he ended up stopping.
Oh, no.
And he's like, nope, rewind, start it over. I got to do it again. And starts over. He had no idea what was going on. So probably, yeah.
You never start over at
So-
a talent show.
Oh,
When
dude.
the song starts over, he does the dick thing again. Over. He finished the song that time, but it was pretty fucking...
I just imagine
Pretty
this
epic.
kid like beaming with pride
Yeah.
because he thinks he's like, America's Got Talent.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah. The people who are into this, they like it.
But they just like the dick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They're into
Wow.
the shadow dick.
Yep.
So, okay. So let's go back to the drums. Then before that guitar, what made you want to start that? Was it Nick? Or was there something before that? Like, what were you into music? Because when
Into
I was
music.
young, I was not. I listened to like MC Hammer when I was a kid. It
Oh.
was disgusting. I had no cool friends. I had no cool influences. I didn't have the cool older cousin,
Mm-hmm.
older sibling. I didn't know. I grew up listening to like 90s country and then like whatever was on KJ 103. And it was sad.
I think it was when I got like my first like tape.
What was your first tape?
It was Injustice for All by Metallica.
Jeez.
That's a good first tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. My first two tapes were MC Hammer, Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him, which I actually stole from my sister. She got it as a gift, and I fucking pocketed that shit in her room and would sneak and play it on my Walkman.
Yeah.
And then wrote my name on the J card because it was mine.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got Vanilla Ice to the extreme.
Dude, I had
So
that.
I was
one.
lost.
I think I had all that stuff too, but like that one tape was like, oh shit, this kind of changes things.
That
And
was
then,
the tape.
Yeah, I started getting into like Nirvana and everything. That's like, I'm obsessed with Dave Grohl. I've got a tattoo of him on my fucking leg. So
A very good one by Cassie
Miss
Stover.
Cassie Stover, yes. But yeah, once I seen that, it was just like, all right, I want to fucking play drums and hit them really hard and try to do it for a living. But that part didn't quite work out. But hey, 20 years later, still fucking playing drums.
Yeah.
Can't beat that, man.
I get it. It's a drum pun.
Can't beat that. There's been a lot of puns tonight. Inverting, not meaning to be.
Yeah, we're a punny show sometimes. Let me ask you this, Jesse. How does your dad, man, and you weren't a dad when we played in a band together.
I am a full-time dad.
You're
yeah.
a fucking dad.
Yeah.
Can I
Double
say
dad.
that? Is that bad? Can I say you're a fucking dad?
I'm a fucking dad.
All right.
I got 2 kids, so yeah.
Let me ask you
definitely.
this, man. How does that change your life? Being somebody that's been in bands and kind of leads that, I don't want to say a double life, but you know, you have your job, steady job kind of guy. Then you have these bands playing at bars, getting home late, having to get up early, and then add that extra layer of children
Two.
and all that responsibility. Two
children,
kids,
yeah.
keeping them alive, keeping them fed, keeping them clean,
Mm-hmm.
disease-free. How does this happen? Like, how do you juggle that? Because a lot of people that I hang out with, we're not parents,
Yeah.
you know? And I don't mean that in like a braggy kind of way. I mean, I would love to have a little Satan spawn of my own, but how do you juggle that, man?
A pretty badass wife. She's awesome, great with our kids, and very, very, very supportive of our band. Like, probably our biggest fan.
Oh, yeah.
So she loves it. So got to give my hat off to her.
That's really nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Shout out to JoJo. She's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met her.
Oh, you got to meet her. She's awesome.
She's hilarious. I was intimidated by her because she's like so funny. It's like, oh shit, this girl's hilarious. But
Yeah, totally. She's hilarious. She's super down to earth and chill
Yeah.
as shit. And yeah, like you said, huge fan of your band.
mhm.
That Powerhouse show, like she was getting way into it. Emily was getting way into it. Like
Mhm.
the ladies of the band were
Yeah.
very much enjoying it.
Yeah, it's tough to juggle. I mean, when I had my first kid, I was in the White Girls when we had Sonny, and then I pretty much dipped out for a couple years at least, and then
Just going to dad mode.
yeah, it was like I'd played in like 3 bands at a time right before that too. I kind of burnt myself out a little bit, and then took a couple years off, and then Nick came up with all these songs for Don't Make Ghosts, and so it's just like, oh, this feels right finally. Like, okay,
Like
ready
it fit in that right groove.
yeah, ready to get back into this, and we found the fucking perfect dudes to fill the other positions, and it's rad, man.
Dude, that's a good feeling. Like,
Yeah.
as you get older,
Mm-hmm.
those perfect dudes are way harder to find.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, seriously, there's something to be said for that, is what
Mhm.
I'm trying to say. Because, you know, you get into your 30s, people start falling off, giving up. I've given up myself, to be honest. It's like, man, it's fucking hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to put that group together of people that you can depend on.
Mhm.
That you don't have the dude in the band that's like a total fuck up, pawning his gear, or is fucked up all the time, or whatever.
There's always seems to be like one dude, but not in this band, man. It's awesome. Really glad to have the guys that we have in this band.
4 dudes,
Mm-hmm.
common goal, did the homework.
And everybody like takes care of business. I've been in bands where it's like I did everything. It's like I fucking booked the shows, did all
Yeah.
the graphic design, like absolutely everything, and everybody kind of does their own little thing, so it like lightens the load a little bit and makes it a little easier.
It's funny you said that, because I have thought about that, how when you get into a band or any sort of project
Mm-hmm.
and you're the one that carries the brunt of things.
Yeah.
And I just do that by nature
Mhm.
in bands. I like to book shows. You're
Yeah.
the same way, Josh.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you enjoy that. You enjoy putting things together.
Oh, I love it.
But as much as you enjoy it, after a while, that shit gets old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even if you enjoy it
Mhm.
and there's no problem with it, after a while, you still kind of get that like itchy feeling in the back of your
Well,
neck.
when you start feeling like, well, there's other people in this band and they're not really, they haven't booked a show. No one's really put up a design or anything. No one's finding us shows.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to strike that balance
Mhm.
and to find a group of guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, you segment that down into a style
Mhm.
and just a general cohesiveness of a band.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you see, it's funny because when I was young, I would like make fun of like dad bands. Well, now you're a dad in a band,
Yeah.
but it's not a dad band. Maybe it is. Is
Yeah.
it? Is it?
There's 3 dads.
Yeah, 3 dads in the
So
band.
there's 5 kids between our band.
5 kids, 75% dads. But my point is like, when I was young, I'd be like, man, fuck these dads. Like, good, terrible. But what made us different? Is it our point of view? Like, what is it?
I think it's, we don't look as old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we don't have, I think it's multiple reasons. Our parents were dealt what their parents did. Like, I mean, they lived through like wars and like a lot of hard work and bullshit. And we kind of were the generation that got a lot of shit handed to us, even though we bitched about it and rebelled. Like we had it pretty easy street for the most part. So now we're older, but we don't seem older because we didn't have the amount of stress that our parents did. Like, we're all in our 30s, but we don't look like we're in our 30s. We definitely don't act like we're in our... What my dad would have been at 30, that dude and me would have nothing in common. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just wonder sometimes, is it a matter of perspective, though?
Maybe.
Because, like, with the new job, now that I'm around some, like, younger people, I'm starting to feel my age. Because the job I had before, I was one of the younger people that worked there. So I kind of felt, like, hip. Like, I could tell people about things. But now that I work with, like, kids that are, like, anywhere from, like, 19, 23, 25, I'm starting to kind of get that dad feel. But I kind of, like, wear it well.
Yeah.
Like, but then again, like, at the end of the day, sometimes I'm, like, fucking tired. Like, dad's got to go home and rest his bones for a little while. And, you know, sometimes I work, like, well, not sometimes I work with people, but I work with people often. They're like, you want to go out after work? And I'm like, no. And maybe that's when it starts to set in, the mortality.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm the same way. Even though when I get out few and far between, it's like, I tend to go a little crazy. But yeah, I love being at home, fucking watching TV, playing PlayStation, all that stuff. Me and my wife love playing PlayStation together, so it's pretty rad.
What are you playing?
We love golf. Like the PGA Tour, like golf. Like, we play the shit out of that. And what else do I play? I love the Lego games.
They're fun. They're surprisingly fun.
I like building all these little things and thinking and looking for stuff and solving puzzles.
Did you play any Rocket League?
No, I have not.
Oh, my God. PS4?
Yeah.
Dude, do yourself a favor. Download Rocket League. I think it's like $10 in the PS4 store. They were giving it away for free when it first came out.
I love those sales they have, the deals and shit.
So good. Dude, Rocket League is the most fun I've had on my PS4. Me and Matt and Colin, we would get on there and play together. If I could break it down for you really quickly, so you're driving these cars around on a huge soccer field, and these cars go super fast, and there's a huge soccer ball, and you can boost your car and, like, bounce up off the ground, and you can hit the ball with your car. So it's this 3-on-3 teams against each other. And the goal is it's soccer. It's soccer with cars, and it's fucking phenomenally fun.
Sockars.
Yeah. Yes,
man,
dude, it blew up. It came out maybe like a year ago, blew the fuck up, and it's still a blast. Now they have, like, either they have it now or they're about to come out with these, like, mods where it's not only soccer goals, but now it's basketball goals where you actually have to hit the ball up and into the goal. Bloop. It's a fucking blast, dude. And if you download it, I will fucking play with you, dude. I'm on the PS4 network.
I am too. I'll get it.
It's so fun. But yeah, those downtimes are where it's at, man.
Oh yeah.
Do you, as a musician, do you do any recording at home, like as a multi-instrumentalist?
That was hold on, that was really hard to get out.
Multi-instrumentalist.
There you go.
I know. I was like, do you do that?
Nope.
Really?
I just have my drums set up. We practice in my garage at my house, so I have
you
my
don't like write songs or anything?
Not really. I've never been a writer. Like, sit down and write my own songs.
Same.
It's always like all right, I can do this in a group thing when someone brings a skeleton in, put in my input.
You're a role player.
Exactly.
And dude, that's so important. I've always felt that about myself. Like, I can't sit down and write some badass song, but if somebody wants to, like, collaborate, I love filling that role.
Yeah, but then I just, like, go crazy and come up with everything, like, whatever. Like,
hell yeah.
It's just...
And dude, how great is it to practice at your house?
First time I've ever been able to do it in my life.
It's great.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I just get to walk into the other room.
Yeah.
Like a band I was in a few years ago, we practiced in the shop in my backyard, and it was like, this is where it's at.
Yeah. And then when you're done, like, all right, well, I'm done. You guys get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Bye. See you later.
Or just hang out on the back porch and drink beer. And guess
Yeah.
what? I get to walk into my bedroom and go to sleep.
I'll drink as many of these beers as I want to. You guys got to drive home. I'll see you guys later.
I feel bad because I'm in Edmond and all the guys are in Oklahoma City, so they have to book
Yeah.
it back.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
You did your time.
Yeah.
You did your time.
I put my time in.
It feels so great to do that. Like, all right, see you guys later. Turn off the lights. Walk about 20, 30 yards into your house. Yards, I don't know,
Feet?
20, 30 feet, I guess, into your house and call it a night. It feels really nice. Like, and I was spoiled in my last band with found footage. Like, the dude lived like 5 minutes from here, but I was like, you know, after practice, like, oh, I gotta like take my shit home. And I would leave my amp there, but I would always want to like bring my pedal board home, you know, my guitar and shit. It's like, not when the band's at your house. Just flip the lights off.
Yep.
And as a drummer, I'm sure it's super important.
Oh,
It's
you
like,
got your shit's got to be there.
it's set up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would imagine as a drummer, that's like the worst part of being a drummer is
The tear
setting
down.
up, tearing down.
Yeah. Just so many little pieces.
Well, the other bad part about being a drummer is I play drums in a band right now.
You know, I have never seen you play drums before. I've seen you play guitar and bass, but not drums.
That's weird. Because no one knows that I do that. Dave Klein saw me play with Nesting with one of Ross's bands.
Yeah.
We played at the Bad Grannies, and Dave Klein was there, and I'm breaking my drums, and he goes, "How long have you been playing drums?" It's like, about 20 years. I'm playing drums about 20 years now. He goes, "Shit." I'm like, yeah. I'm playing drums a long time. So no one knows I do it. But yeah, I play in a band. It's kind of a garage punky band, but I don't take my drums there. There's a drum set there. It's not the best drum kit. You know what I mean? Have you ever done that? Like, I'm not going to bring my kit, but I'll play what you have. And it's
Bring your
just-
cymbals.
No, I'm not doing that either.
What, really?
Like, I'm playing
The CB cymbals?
the cymbals are good. It's just it's an old like Pearl export kit where the heads aren't really tuned very well.
like the high school band kit.
It's exactly the high school band kit that's been sitting in the corner that no one touches. It's that, which is fine for practice because it doesn't really care what it sounds like. It matters if I'm hitting these things properly. It doesn't matter what these are tuned like. If I'm hitting these and they're set up the way I'm going to set them up when I play the show, that's all that matters. And that's what I do, even though I hate it every time because I know it's going to sound terrible. But it's in a garage. I'm in a garage. It's all going to sound like shit. Like you're playing through this amp that I can barely hear, and all I can hear is these drums and these cymbals. That's it. I'm following by counting, and I have a metronome in my head, and that's what we're doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? When you guys practice, do you guys have like a full PA setup and the whole deal, or do you guys
just-
mostly just do instrument?
We have a little small PA, two
Yeah.
little 15-inch speakers with a little power amp.
So you get like a garage show kind of a vibe.
Totally, yeah. Totally. Small little PA just for vocals, and that's it. But
Yeah.
works great. We actually like left the windows open when we practiced. What was it 2 days ago? And like kids from our neighborhood were like coming by and like peeking in the windows and shit, and like head banging and throwing up
That's
devil
awesome.
horns and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah. It's like, that's a good video idea.
Yeah, like having like one by one kids show up to the
yeah,
window.
that's what we were thinking.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
man, I know a guy to make some videos.
Hey, that'd be rad.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
What's next for Don't Make Ghost? I mean, I know you just put out an E EP.
Yeah. Next show is August 19th at the Root here in Oklahoma City. We're actually taking our first out-of-state trip in September, playing in Kansas City with a band called the Grizzly Hand, who's
Cool.
amazing. It's ex-members of Tanqueray who we used to tour with
Oh, take a race.
all the time. Well, actually, just the singer now. He used to be the drummer, but he's not in the band anymore. But yeah, good friends of ours, and they have a huge draw in Kansas City, pretty successful. So we're pretty stoked to go open up for them.
So you guys, you released the EP digitally online.
Mm-hmm.
Is there talks of releasing it physically?
Yeah, I'm finishing the artwork right now, and
Okay.
probably in like 10-day turnaround. So we're hoping like 3 weeks we'll have a physical CD,
Okay.
and then trying to get it on as many formats as possible.
Awesome.
Spotify, iTunes, the works.
You guys gonna try to shop it around, or?
Yeah, I think so.
I think you should.
Yeah.
It's pretty badass.
Well, thank you.
I would
Great
say that it's a glowing boys review.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We give it 2 thumbs up. Two boys thumbs up.
Two little thumbs
Two
up.
little boys thumbs up.
Two
We give it
thumbs.
a stack of porn in the woods. That's what we give it.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up.
Yeah.
Jesse, thanks so much for coming by,
Hey,
man.
Thanks for having me.